This is me, Dick Strawbridge, my wife Angel, and our 2 children in our glorious French chateau. We haven't ever regretted what we've done. It is so worth it. We moved here 3 years ago to follow our dream of living life in our very own castle.
Oh my God!
But it's not been easy.
I think I'm a bit too old for this.
As dozens of other Brits know only too well.
Oops. Floor needs replacing as well.
Because it turns out we're not the only expats who have bought a French chateau.
Wow, absolutely love it.
25-year-old Bordeaux.
Motherload!
In this series, we'll reveal how we're running our chateau as a business.
There's not a thing about making sausages that I don't find humorous.
I'm still finding things that I haven't seen.
And see how these daring Brits are running theirs.
Oh, whoa. This place is done up.
As they face the ups
It's really beautiful.
This is a rare moment, but I am genuinely at peace.
and downs
It's a lot worse than it looks.
of their new lives in these crumbling and magnificent buildings.
It is a bit of a fantasy, living in a French chateau.
We might have a few problems on the way, but that's part of life, isn't it?
Today,
Oh, yeah.
a cost-saving way of making your own trailer.
Rope snapped.
Wannabe chateau owners try to find their dream home,
Oh, babe, this is what we want, right?
but soon find problems to bug them.
Oh, Dick will have a field day with this.
A chateau couple dealing with a struggling business
If we don't break even this year, it would be a disaster.
come to see Angel for some advice.
Hello.
It's me at last.
And I helped to plan an ambitious building project.
So you haven't got enough to do, so you've decided to build a bridge? Yeah. Are you sure you want a bridge?
British artist Johnny and television producer Ashley are at the very beginning of their chateau adventure. Having outgrown their little townhouse in Pézenas in the south of France, they're looking for a chateau to run.
We want to open up an art gallery. Obviously, I need a big workshop.
Angel and I have already given Johnny advice on the things they should look out for when chateau shopping. Armed with that advice, they're off to a viewing near Bordeaux.
This one is huge. They don't have a lot of pictures, but it looks like a lot of the renovations have already been done, which, you know, has its pluses, but also that could be because we really want to make it our own.
Their budget is £320,000. The place they're about to see is listed at £550,000, but maybe there's a little wiggle room on the price.
This is the original gatehouse. Look, I love it. This is going to have killer views.
Yeah.
I love the land already.
I know.
Yeah, I love it.
Hold on a second.
What?
Look at the sunflowers. Imagine sitting on those chairs looking at the sunflowers all day. Nice.
It's got 13 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, a pool, and sits on 8 acres of land. Today, Johnny and Ashley are getting a personal tour from the owner.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. I'm Ashley.
I'm you.
Johnny.
Hi.
Like to follow me?
Englishman Tom bought the chateau when it was in ruins nearly 20 years ago.
Wow, that's incredible.
I was young enough and naive enough to take it on.
Tom's put a huge amount of time, effort, and money into restoring this place over the years, and it shows.
Yeah, the kitchen's nice. I like it.
Yeah.
And it's nice that it opens up onto that
Oh, no, can you imagine?
view. Yeah.
Onto the terrace.
Ah, that's great. Yeah, the views are just beautiful.
Oh, I think it's amazing.
The view is absolutely incredible.
It is, eh? Breathtaking.
Yeah.
The location's a winner, but Johnny needs to take our advice on board and start asking some tough questions.
I see this here. Is there a little story behind that one?
That's just a little bit of woodworm, yeah.
Okay.
Termites are the ones you've got to be careful for.
Yeah.
Spot on, mate. You were listening.
Just remind me again, how many boilers?
7 or 8.
Okay. Yeah. So it's well serviced then.
Yeah. The hot water never runs out.
Well, that's a huge plus point. The house has been looked after that way when it comes to heating, boilers. Very, very good. We're happy.
Well done, Johnny. You're doing me proud.
So you can see here in the attic, there's been a new roof,
Okay.
whole roof on.
Oh, awesome.
So the whole thing is brand new.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
A leaky roof on a chateau can cost anywhere upwards of £100,000. So one that's been newly refurbished like this is a real find. This place seems to be ticking an awful lot of boxes.
You can't get more French than this.
No, that's true, babe. Sunflowers, spires, steeples. It's just so quiet. So peaceful.
It's really nice.
But there's something nagging at Ashley.
Tom, we have a question for you. Are there any outbuildings?
No, because I guess what happened was there would have been originally. I'm assuming that when they put the 2 towers on, they demolished the outbuildings and used the stone.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Upcycling, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Before we even use the term.
Yeah.
The lack of extra space for Johnny's workshop and art gallery is a real blow.
I think it's a stunning property. I think the views are amazing, but I think the fact that it doesn't have outbuildings is just a deal breaker.
We're just going to move forward, just keep rolling until we do find that one that we really connect with. We want to find our chateau, and we will find it. 100%, we're going to find this chateau.
Now that's what I call positive thinking.
Next appointment.
Good man, Johnny.
Oh, come on, baby.
Just over 200 miles north in the Pays de la Loire region of France sits the beautiful Chateau de Jalin. This is the home of British couple Michael and Jonathan. 5 years ago, they became bored with their lives and jobs as a buyer and a social housing manager in London.
Michael and I had got as far as we could with our careers. I could predict what every day was going to be like, and I thought, I don't want to be doing this for another 10 years.
I'd always said if I had to move anywhere to live abroad, it would either be New Zealand or France. New Zealand's too far, France on the doorstep.
We love the French people, we love the French way of life.
Bonjour.
I like croissants and red wine.
So they bought this place and converted it, with the help of investors, into 15 holiday apartments and a location for weddings and special events.
The investors are hugely important to us, as is the bank.
The key focus of the chateau is going to be for weddings because we need to pay all the bills that come with owning a place like this.
But after hosting just 3 weddings last year, their first year in business, it's make or break this summer.
Just to break even this year, we would need 13 weddings. If we don't break even this year, it would be a disaster.
Angel and I also host weddings, so she's invited Jonathan and Michael over to discuss ways of making their weddings more profitable.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's a chateau. If I was going to draw one, that's what it looked like. Lord.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
It's even got a coat of arms above the door.
It's a chateau and a half, isn't it?
Hello!
Hello, sorry. Good to meet you at last.
Angel.
And Michael.
Hello, I'm Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan. Nice to meet you.
And you too. You
Welcome.
too.
This is our chateau, our home.
Love it. Love it.
Now, I know that you're doing weddings.
Yes.
OK. Now, I want to sit down with you and start looking through some of your figures. But one of the things was your floristry bill.
Yes.
OK. Now, me and Dick are tight, but I do get a lot of stuff from the garden. Do you want to go and pick some stuff?
to. Yeah.
Fab. OK, follow me, follow me.
So I wouldn't see anything in here of potential for me at the moment, but yeah.
Well, I would here, I see lovely ivy.
Ivy, yeah.
Yeah. And
We normally chuck all that away. We had it growing up the chateau all over the place, and we see it as the enemy now. So every piece of ivy we see is off and straight into the bonfire.
But instead of putting it on the bonfire, you can be a bit creative with it. Ivy, you know something? You buy fake ivy by the metre. It's ridiculously expensive. Do you fancy having a go at getting some out?
Yeah,
Give you
no,
my
I've
brave
got
gloves.
no problem with that. Start up here and just get your fingers under the top of it, see, and then wiggle
pull
it down.
Yeah. Right, fabulous. So how much do you spend on flowers for a wedding?
We had one the other day for £3,500.
Wow, that's a lot. I'm just far too cheap.
In fairness, they're using proper bona fide flowers, and we're using weeds out of a meadow. So there is a difference, isn't there? No?
it looks like Angel might struggle convincing Jonathan of her money-saving tips.
I am so fine with you being a little bit sceptical at the moment because I feel like I want to... It's giving me a challenge to convince you.
The 17th century Chateau has 30 rooms and its very own chapel. Husband and wife, Philip and Angelina Bailey-Smith, are renting it as a wedding and events venue. It's a test run before they decide whether or not to buy their own place.
Renting before we're buying was a brilliant idea. It just gave us the opportunity to experience without the heavy financial input if it didn't go well.
In just 8 weeks, they host their very first paid booking, a 50th wedding anniversary in the Chateau grounds here in the Pays de la Loire.
Oh my God, the sheer scale and size of it. A lot of things to do. I'm kind of running out of time.
Clearing the 6-acre grounds isn't their only problem. The chateau is surrounded by a moat, and after a recent storm, a tree has fallen into it.
The view as you come up the drive is blocked.
Phil's planning on taking out his trusty Cornish boat and chainsawing the tree into pieces.
I haven't used this boat since it was in St Ives Harbour, 2005. Might go in the water and completely sink, I have no idea. Must remember to put the bungs back in. He floats.
Phil's little boat's floating nicely. Unfortunately, his trailer's stuck in the mud.
Now it gets really worrisome, shall we say.
I might have to get Angelina to help me, but I'd rather she didn't see the mess I've made.
Luckily, he's also got a van to rescue the truck and trailer, if he can get it through the tiny gap.
And we are clear. It is worth it in the end, despite the fact it might not look it quite often. All right, removing. Success. And I don't have to tell Angelina that that wasn't as easy as I'm going to tell her it was.
Phil's learning that when running a chateau, it never rains, it pours.
Angelina, come get out of the rain in the chapel.
Coming.
Problem with here is if you think it's going to take a day, it'll take 3. There's always something that stops you here, be it time or now the weather. It certainly sometimes feels like someone's trying to give you a sign.
Have some faith, Phil, have some faith. Back at our place, Chateau de la Motte-Husson, Angel's giving some advice to chateau owners Michael and Jonathan, who are facing a make-or-break year for their wedding business. Though they don't seem convinced when it comes to her flower tips.
In fairness, you're using weeds out of a meadow, so...
I don't think wildflowers for weddings totally work on their own. I mix it up. And I buy a selection of bought flowers and I mix it in with all of this stuff that they're selling in the forest. They're selling weeds in the florist.
Our flower bill for a typical wedding is about €300, way cheaper than Jonathan and Michael's 3,500.
I am so fine with you being a little bit sceptical at the moment because I feel like I want to... It's giving me a challenge to convince you. So you don't rule it out yet.
No,
Just
right.
stay with me, stay with me. I'm going to be my challenge
If we can sell these weeds for 2 or 3 thousand, a couple of thousands, they're well worth it.
This is our orangery. Welcome.
Cool.
I think we're going to start by just dressing some teapots with some flowers. Go for it. So how many weddings have you got in your books this year?
8 this year.
8.
That's brilliant. That's the same as us, by the way. And that was on purpose because that's a manageable number. And are you making a profit with that?
We're not making a profit at the moment. I think to break even, we need to be around the 10 to 12 mark. To make a good, healthy profit, we think we need to be about 18.
That's 18 weddings a year.
We're making money on every wedding.
Right.
But we need to do a lot more turnover.
They need to put on more weddings or make more money per wedding, preferably both.
Have you got all of your own tables and all of that kind of stuff?
We had the brides who come to us say things like, oh, one lot will want round tables, one lot will want rectangular tables, one lot will want a whole string.
This is what works for us.
Some get married in the woods, some get married in the garden, some get married in the chateau chapel. They all want to sleep in different places. They all want breakfast at different times.
From my perspective, you're offering too much.
Maybe we're wrong then, because we just keep thinking people want the choice.
They do. And everyone's going to want something different, but if you don't give them a choice, they'll be exactly the same happiness. I'm telling you.
If they offered a simpler package with less options, we're convinced they would spend less money and make more profit. And they could save thousands on the flower bill, if they've got the skills.
I feel like you're really enjoying this, Michael. Are you enjoying it, Jonathan? You having a nice time?
It's not my forte, I have to say.
Would you leave these?
I can sense that energy.
So, who's the best florist, Michael or Jonathan?
He is the most competitive person on the planet. And
right. You get the prize because... Wait a second, Jonathan. You get the prize because this is most similar to my style. It's a bit wide. I love the form of it. But you get the most creative award because...
I'm glad you were lost for words. I'm actually quite pleased with it. So I think...
Go on, take a picture of him.
That's sitting on a table on its own, away from all that clutter there. I think... Look at that. That's the teapot grown... and the colours. Look, I got the thing that... No,
It's so arty. You are so arty, Jonathan. It's great.
So, has my angel won them over with her charming flowery teapots?
It's a joy, actually, to look at that. Look at it. Look at that. Just look at that.
It's got personality, hasn't it?
Would you do it again? Would we do this in the chateau?
Yeah. I actually quite like that.
I think we've done really well. These were good money-saving tips, but in order to really increase their revenue, they have to get more bookings.
Well, should we go and have a drink and a bit of lunch?
No, now you're talking.
Now you're talking my language.
Let's hope they do.
Celebrate. Well done.
Just 30 minutes from us at Chateau, the sun is out and rookie Chateau managers Phil and Angelina Bailey-Smith are finishing off clearing up debris from the winter storms. For obvious safety reasons, ideally you'd hire professionals for this.
Sometimes you start a job, you end up doing it for days on end, which is quite sort of daunting and demotivating, but once you've gone through it, it's beautiful. I got it.
It's been 4 days of back-breaking work, but they're not out of the woods yet.
Ready?
To dispose of the timber, they're going to need something much bigger than what they've got to hand.
Need a decent-sized trailer, but it's quite expensive, €3,500. Not spending €3,500 just to move some stuff. I'm just going to destroy a caravan instead.
After picking up a caravan for free, Phil's going to have a crack at reverse engineering.
What I require is the chassis. Easy way of doing this. Plywood side, let's hit it off the wood base. Then we can lift it off, OK?
Yeah, a little bit worried, but I'm sure it'll be all fine. You didn't get your hat.
I don't need a hat. Nothing to damage.
I agree.
Oi. This is for every single time I've been delayed in traffic. There you go, see? See it's coming off that way?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I certainly do. That was quick.
Although lifting it off may take a little longer.
Yeah, it's quite heavy. I've got a better idea.
What?
Where's the rope?
In engineering terms, Phil is going to apply Newton's third law of motion, using force, tension, and friction. In layman's terms...
I'm going to rip it off with a car. All right, I'll just open the window.
Oh.
Air conditioning is standard.
It's very forceful.
Almost all chateau jobs require the key skill of being resourceful. Phil's becoming a master.
You don't have to be rich to have a place like this, but you have to think of ways to do it quicker with a tool that doesn't cost you a vast amount of money, and that's how you'll get by in a place like this. We're on.
I'm quite excited.
Right, stand back. All right. See what happens. Ready?
Yes, go. Keep going. Rope snapped.
If we try to lift the front now...
We? Would you like a sledgehammer again?
No, I'd like to be stronger.
It hasn't gone according to plan. Yay! Well done! Oh, it looks awesome. Well, that was simple. Look at that.
If you peel away all of the mess, what you get to, this is the steel chassis of the caravan. I might celebrate getting this far, €3,500 for a trailer, or an afternoon's work destroying something to help us do another job quicker.
I admire Phil's optimism, but there's still a long way to go before we can call this thing a trailer. In the southwest of France, artist Johnny and partner Ashley are back on the hunt for their dream chateau. The last place they saw didn't have the outbuilding space that Johnny needed for his workshop, so it's on to the next one.
Well, the sat-nav's telling me it's just up here, babe. Oh, wait.
Oh, I think that's it.
That's it, right?
I think it is. Oh, wow.
First impressions?
It's huge.
Overgrown.
Wow.
Wow.
This is Chateau de Lomini.
Oh, how nice is this? Look.
It's on the market for just under £530,000, £210,000 over their budget.
Here we are, baby.
And it's only got 4 bedrooms.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, madame. I'm Hervé Guillot, Agence Mercure. Ashley?
Je suis Ashley.
How are you?
But it does come with more than 12 acres of land and several large outbuildings.
I think it's awesome. I really love it. I mean, it's different to what we've looked at before.
Yeah.
And like the last place they saw, it's also got a brand new roof.
Shall we look at the castle first?
Castle.
Okay.
Okay. Come. Voilà, ici.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Look at this.
Mosaic floor.
Ah, beautiful. Wow, stunning.
Bibliothèque.
Oh, the library, oui.
Oui.
This is what I love, this kind of detail. And these are staying?
Oui.
Oui?
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui. Beautiful.
They're barely through the door when Johnny's eagle eyes spot something wrong with the living room parquet floor.
So this is crazy, baby. I mean, it's just been shot to pieces. And all this is hardwood. And I can see one of the buggers here, look.
Oh, is it? Oh.
There he is.
These are the dreaded termites I warned him about that live in the south. They feed on cellulose, and one of their favourite places to find it is in the dead wood used to build houses or make furniture.
Apparently, there's almost, you can draw a line through France where north of this line, i.e. where Dick and Angel live, they have woodworm. The further south you go, apparently, we get termites here, and it's a big, big problem.
This entire hardwood floor would need to be ripped out and replaced.
Although this is a pain in the butt, all these places we know, they all need work. They all do. There's no getting away from it, you know, for the budget we've got.
But downstairs in the basement, there's even more termite damage.
Oh, Dick will have a field day with this. Look at that. Crumbling.
Could this end Johnny and Ashley's dream?
Damn, look at it.
At Chateau in northern France, Phil Bailey-Smith's grinding ahead with his homemade trailer.
Just want to go and buy everything you need rather than making it. But a similar sized trailer to go and buy is €3,500.
All Phil needs to do is to put a base and some sides on it, and he'll be able to clear the storm-damaged tree from the grounds. But there's a problem.
I want to eliminate flex the front before we put the frame on the top. If it's not straight, it'll never tow correctly.
Like a true engineer, Phil is planning his project with a blueprint, using a felt tip pen and a paper napkin. I'm so proud.
Because I don't like planning too much. On the right is current. On the left is some strengthening bits I have to put in, and the finished product.
With their first ever paid booking just weeks away, Angelina's job is to get the feel of the chateau just right.
Guest Dan and Chris will be staying here. However, when you come in to stay in a chateau, you don't expect to sleep on a great big pallet bed made completely out of pallets. So I got a bed to replace it. It's curved, it's split at the front, lots of detail. It's a lot more French chateau-y look to it.
Angelina's got her work cut out. Decades ago, the chateau was converted into a hotel, and the owners didn't quite share her passion for authenticity.
Chateaus, over the years, they've all been done to somebody else's needs. So you do need to put in the work into it to make it pretty. Perfect. That was easy.
While Angelina creates the chateau room of her dreams, outside Phil's having a nightmare, trying to fix the supporting struts to the trailer.
It's not getting enough well done there.
His electric welder just isn't powerful enough to bond it to the chassis.
Time for plan B. Drill holes and bolt it together. Which actually probably should have been the plan and should have been plan A.
I'd hurry up if I were you, fella. Angelina's nearly finished. And the wood pile's getting bigger.
I'm on my last one, but the screw has been de-threaded, so I've got nothing to catch him with. And I need Phil doing his magic.
Unfortunately, Phil's got his own problems.
Drill bit snaps. When things aren't going your way, you sometimes wonder if it's going to be worth it.
But she's doing a sterling job on her own.
Put the rubber over the screw. Hopefully that will provide a grip. Ah, yes! Finally! I'm so pleased. Hey, Han.
How are you getting on?
Good. How's it going?
It's not going according to the original napkin plan.
I have confidence in you.
There are many hours of my life spent in this and lots where I wish I'd just bought a trailer.
At Chateau de Gelaine, it's a big day for owners Jonathan and Michael.
Where are they? I think they just pulled up. Superb.
Today, they're expecting an American couple who are looking for the perfect location for their wedding. If they can persuade them to book the chateau, it'll be a massive step towards making their business profitable.
The American market for destination weddings has to be one of the biggest in the world. Most Americans love France and love chateau, love history and things like that, so it's quite nerve-wracking to have them walking through the front door.
So beautiful. This is amazing. Hello.
Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you.
Hi, good to meet you,
Hello,
Michael.
good to meet you, Michael.
Lovely. Good journey?
Oh, wonderful journey, absolutely.
You brought the weather with you, thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, the weather, this place is amazing. It's beautiful.
Oh my God, this place is gorgeous.
Because the chateau's south-facing, if the sun's out, it's here all day, so your guests can be outside on the terrace and pretty much get the sun all the time throughout your event. Let's go in.
All right.
After you.
Okay, thank you.
The couple are considering renting the entire chateau for a week.
Let me say that a week's rental here is going to cost about 30,000 euros.
That's about £25,000. This could be a lifesaver for Jonathan and Michael's struggling business, so they're doing all they can to impress these Americans.
This is the main entrance hall which we would use if it was inclement outside, and you could have your, what the French call a van d'honneur in here, which is really nice place to have it. And your guests will get this image right from the front door, right the way through to the pool when the pool covers off, and the trees in the background will be full of green. You'll just get this great big blanket of green at the back there. We've got circulating air. We can change the air in here 8 times an hour, so nobody's falling asleep during your speeches. And this is the chapel.
Oh, wow. This is so cool. Love it, stunning.
So dancing in here is great because
Yes, yes.
there's nobody above you.
Yes.
To be disturbed by the noise if it goes on to the early hours.
It will.
It's a little bit like being an estate agent. You show people round, but they never like to insult you about your house. There must be many house owners out there who think, oh, yes, they loved it, loved it. They said they thought the kitchen was wonderful, and they thought, oh, they loved the light in here. And then as soon as they get out, they say, well, I wouldn't buy that dump if you paid me. And so you can never believe what people say when they come round.
Fortunately, Jonathan has a secret weapon.
We are very lucky to have Janet, who's our wedding planner, and she's now working her magic. She's got 12 years' experience of this sort of thing. This will be, if we get it, the 32nd wedding that she will have done. So she knows her stuff, and we're very fortunate. So come on, Janet, do it. Do it for me, do it for us, do it for the chateau.
Shall we go back in and have a look at the dining room?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I just hope that the answer's a big yes, and it will all help us to stay here and not pack our bags and go back to the UK and start working 9 to 5 again.
About 100 miles north, Chateau Phil is finally completing his budget trailer at Chateau.
Essentially, I had to change plans halfway through. I wanted sheet metal, couldn't get it in time. So, as always, time takes precedent over perfection.
And time is running out. As well as having to clear the grounds before the summer season starts, there's still an estate agency business to run in London.
Angelina is travelling back from the UK at the moment, because our lives are between the two places still. I actually told her on the phone last night that it's already finished. I lied. My friends say, oh, you live in the chateau life. But the reality is Angelina's going to have done 12 hours on the ferry, 2.5-hour drive from the ferry to here, and the second she gets here, I'm going to make her clear up with me.
Hello. Look at that.
You okay?
Welcome home. Ah, it looks great. I love it.
Hang on. Just jump in and break it, why don't you?
Way too excited.
No.
The trailer may have passed the jumping up and down test, but can it survive a fully laden trip to the skip?
Don't be Speedy Gonzales in case it falls out.
This is our driveway, it's fine.
Luckily, the skip isn't far away, in case it does fall apart.
If it falls apart on the way to the skip, I'm just dragging it to the skip and leaving it there.
It looks sturdy, to be fair. I think you did a really, really good job. Oh, that was shaking.
I'm impressed. This once beaten-up caravan has saved them over £2,500. Although Phil's now twigged how he could have been even more efficient.
Now that's what I needed to make.
I don't know. He makes one trailer and he's already thinking about branching out. Back in the south of France, Johnny and Ashley have been viewing a chateau to buy, and they discovered it's got termites.
It is what it is. And that's the beauty of these places. You never, ever know what you're going to find, good or bad.
It's not the best news, but they still have the rest of the chateau to see, and there's some things to be happy about.
It looks like this has been rewired at some point, which is a thumbs up for Johnny. Yeah. So I think that'll make Dick happy. Yeah, I'll get a pat on the back from him, I think. I might have to send him an email. So we had a new roof, we got electricity done.
He's got every right to be smug, because outside, there's even more reason to be happy.
That's what we got here, then.
The local of the heating here.
Heating?
The whole gas central heating system is brand new.
Just look at this brasswork here. Look how lovely that is. I've no idea what it does. But it's screaming new and it's screaming expensive, right?
That's about £50,000 worth of kit. Plus, it's got a solar hot water system that could save them hundreds of pounds a year.
This is incredible, babe. This really is.
It's a huge bonus. But what gets Johnny really excited is outbuildings. What are they like?
Oh, babe, wait till you see this room. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Fabulous.
Woo! Oh, babe, this is what we want, right?
I love this room.
Oh, babe, this is huge.
1,000 square meters of outbuilding. And best of all, it's already been partially renovated, including double glazed windows which can cost up to £2,000 a piece in France.
I like this more than the actual castle.
This is mind-blowing.
This is amazing.
As an artist, you can never have enough space. You know, at the moment, I'm restricted to the scope of art I can do, the volume of art, and also the size of art that I can do. So this, I mean, this is just a dream for an artist. Wow.
That's amazing.
That's crazy, right, babe?
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say Johnny and Ashley have fallen head over heels for this place.
The thing is, though, it's...
I know. It's crazy because it is way out of our budget, right?
It is way over our budget. I mean, what if we offer $450?
Yeah.
But we can't go higher.
No.
I mean...
Okay.
We shouldn't.
We're putting an offer in for 450, and we'll see how we go from there. They can only say no, right?
It's true.
€450,000 is almost £410,000. This offer is £90,000 over their budget and £120,000 short of the asking price.
I called the owner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you try for us, s'il vous plaît? Oh, merci beaucoup. Merci.
On va essayer.
And tell him that we are wonderful people.
Difficile. The price is very difficile.
Yeah.
All they can do now is wait while estate agent Hervé submits their bid to the owner.
Ils font une offre un peu basse pour ce que vous souhaitez, je le sais.
We maybe shouldn't have looked at a place that was way out of our price range.
Yeah, we was asking for trouble.
But you never know. You never know.
C'est des gens très sympathiques, oui.
Oh, it's a long conversation. Is that a good thing?
Probably not.
Bon, Ashley.
Yes.
Very difficult. But the owner will consider your offer.
Okay.
Please call me for 340.
Okay.
Okay.
Oui, oui.
Okay.
Difficile.
Thank you, though. Thank you.
Okay.
Voilà, Ashley. Au revoir.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much.
The offer is way below the asking price. Will it be accepted?
Johnny.
Or will they be laughed out of town? Let's wait and see.
4 days.
4 days.
Yeah.
Wait. Fingers crossed.
Come on. Come on, boo-boo. Let's go for a walk.
Back at Chateau de Gelaine, it's crunch time. American couple Steph and Dave are coming to the end of their tour with wedding planner Janet.
Up there, we want to have the cocktail now. Whether we can eat up there or not is a question.
Well, we can have a look when we go back.
They're on the cusp of deciding whether to hold a wedding and 7-day celebration here.
The wedding market in France at the moment is very, very competitive. There are lots of chateaux and private houses in the Loire Valley and the rest of France who offer similar services.
Well, you know, yeah, be positive, be positive. They will love it, they'll have it, they'll take it. We will have a week-long wedding. It'll be a very special day, you know. British organisation is renowned the world over, and we're going to do them justice.
The booking worth £25,000 would be a life-saving boost to Jonathan and Michael's struggling business. Everything rests on this couple. Will they? Won't they?
Oh, this is definitely the place that we want to have our wedding.
Absolutely.
With everything that's here, the swimming pool, the grounds, places for kids to play, places for adults to play. It's definitely the right place.
It's been great. It'll be really, really cool.
So the next time we'll be here, it will be for our wedding.
Yeah.
They just said yes, they're going to take it.
Really?
Full chateau rental for a week.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God! That's brilliant.
Yes!
Well, it's what we need, isn't it? It's just the best end to what's been weeks of pressure to pull this off. I cannot express to you how the pressure, the pressure, it just builds and builds and builds. It's sleepless nights, but I mean, inside we're shrieking.
Time to celebrate. But Michael and Jonathan will be put to the test organising everything over the coming days and weeks.
This is the first full chateau rental we've had, not just this year, it's the first one we've ever had. So to have 45 people is going to test us.
Now's the time for the real work to start. Everything that we've promised, we've now got to deliver.
At Chateau, for Phil and Angelina, the work is never done. The grounds have been cleared, but now they have another project.
This is the first time I see you in waders. You look fabulous.
There's something wrong with you.
They have the chance to secure a second booking, a wedding, but there's one condition.
They want to have a particularly large marquee, and they want it over there on this completely wasted piece of land.
The problem is there's a moat in the way.
We need to build a bridge to it so people can go across. Phil has never built a bridge before. It's sort of trial and error, and we can't do the error part on it. So hopefully Dick will help him out with the engineering side of things.
Our place, Chateau de la Motte-Husson, is about 30 minutes away from Phil and Angelina, and I've agreed to help them out. I built my first bridge back in the 70s, and I'm figuring they haven't changed much since then.
Philip sent me some pictures. The first thing that strikes me is that's quite a long way for a bridge, a decent span. It's a good challenge.
But I'm going to need some figures.
Oh, almost.
Halfway across.
Get in.
And Angelina's kindly volunteered Phil to get them for me.
Wait.
I hope he sinks in quite deep. And then I'll have to come and rescue you in a boat.
Even though the moat seems to be just up to his knees, there are 3 centuries of mud in there to consider.
It's 1.5 meters of silt.
Yes. This is like profile picture.
The width of the moat is crucial to narrow down the type of bridge we can build.
That's the edge of the bank?
Yeah.
It's 8 meters.
I also need to know the amount of traffic the bridge will be taking.
I reckon we've got to build a bridge designed to take 10 people at a wedding or a lawnmower.
When I said traffic, I didn't actually mean a 300-kilo ride-on lawnmower. As this is going to be a lot bigger than the average DIY job, I'd like to have a chat with Phil before I head over there.
There you go. How are we doing, Philip?
All right.
Yeah. So you haven't got enough to do, so you've decided to build a bridge?
Yeah.
You know, I've got so much spare time. Bridge is a great idea.
I feel your pain completely, mate. Look, the simple basic plan was
2 long beams straight across, planking across to walk across.
OK, first things first. So there's a bridge coming towards you now, yeah?
Yeah.
And if people are actually all leaning on one side,
yes.
that twist in the bridge, that's going to be an issue. The other thing is, if you all march in step, you go bum, bum, left, right, you get simple harmonic motion.
I don't know if you've seen some of the big bridges where the wind has caused it to rock. Yeah,
and it rocks itself to pieces.
Yeah.
Very impressive, but very dodgy. Are you sure you want a bridge?
With that amount of weight, I think it's better if we just make 2 smaller bridges resting on an island in the middle.
Have you ever heard of a clapper bridge?
No.
Clappers from an old Saxon for stepping stones. Put something in the middle. Give yourself an island. 1/2 meets in the middle, other half meets in the middle. That means you've got a 4-meter expanse.
And actually, it helps me. I've got all the granite from the dry stone walls.
No extra cost. It makes your life easier. I'd go to one of the big DIY shop for getting the necessary netting. This isn't chicken wire, this is the big netting. That would just hold the stones and sink straight in. I've got to tell you, I'm a bit jealous. Let me know when you're ready and I'll come and play.
Cheers.
Catch you later, matey. Brilliant. It was just him going across there to cut the grass easy. When it comes down to guests and lots of people, got to over-engineer it so that foundation in the middle is safer. I'm looking forward to going and seeing him.
In the meantime, Phil and Angelina need to search the chateau grounds for as much free stuff as they can find.
That's good, isn't it? There's lots of it. That's for like fences.
Yeah. I want it to be. I want it to be solid on its own,
solid,
right?
Yeah. Oh!
What?
This. Look. Look. What's this?
It's an old wheelbarrow.
It's such an awesome piece. I think we should resurrect that.
I'm building a bridge, and now you want me to rebuild a wheelbarrow.
At some point, that'll be lovely. Thank you.
It looks like they'll have to cough up the cash for the cage, but there is free granite. Problem is, it's 200 meters away from the moat.
Underneath all this bramble. Oh my God, there's so much of it. How much will we need? Like, how big will the box be?
About 5 tons.
I figured.
This isn't as simple as I thought. It's just I don't have any idea how I can get it to the other side.
If it's any help, I know where there's an old wheelbarrow. Next time, I give Phil lessons in bridge building.
It's not quite a bridge yet. It's a bit wobbly and it's a bit bouncy. You're looking a bit concerned, Phil.
Jonathan and Michael's frustrations rise when entertaining friends at their place.
Rachel wants to have a bit of breakfast.
You can't keep everybody else waiting.
And Johnny and Ashley discover some of the quirks of looking for your dream chateau.
Does he stay with the house?
I'm Dick Strawbridge, and along with my wife Angel and our 2 children, we left the UK for a whole new life in France and bought this magnificent chateau.
We haven't ever regretted what we've done. It is so worth it.
We've gradually been making it into our home as well as running it as a business.
That's a long way up.
But it turns out we're not alone, as dozens of Brits are doing exactly the same thing.
Sometimes you have to pinch yourself to think, I own that.
In this series, Angel and I will reveal more about our journey as chateau owners.
Quite a lot of scrap here. It's worth money. Might be able to pay you this time.
And guide these daring Brits where we can.
It's a solid old bridge, matey.
As they renovate.
This is looking good. I'm quite happy with this.
Repair.
I've never done this before, so it should be all right.
And struggle to transform these buildings into their homes and businesses.
Go, 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 go. Absolutely magnificent.
Mamma mia! It's the curse of the accursed pool. This is not the way to make money.
But however hard the going gets, these plucky Brits can always say they're kings and queens of their very own castles.
Cheers. Chin chin.
Today, there's some surprises when I go in search of hidden booty in one chateau. This is why people treasure hunt. Arguments and toilet troubles for 2 chateau rookies.
What's the point of me being here if you're not going to listen to me?
And a single mum gets more than she bargained for at her 13-bedroom mansion.
Oh, it's your hand.
Don't worry, I've got another one.
The 17th century Baroque style Chateau sits in over 6 acres of land.
The festoon lights are going to go along the trees that way.
It's home to estate agents Phil and Angelina Bailey-Smith, but they don't own the chateau, they rented it. This is a trial run to see if chateau life is for them.
We always said that if you're going to try to make a business out of a place like this, you've got to go through it yourself. You're learning if this can be your life.
They're hosting a 50th anniversary party here in the Pays de la Loire. I've already helped them build a bridge for it.
It's a solid old bridge, matey.
It is.
But now the event, their very first one, is closing in fast.
Yeah, less than a month until really the deadline.
Yeah, you've got to try to prioritise it 1 to 10, everything being 1 and nothing being 10.
But Phil's top priority at the moment is far from glamorous. He needs to sort out the toilets for the party-goers. They're directly above an old septic tank, and there's rising damp.
There's some sort of damp-proof membrane that's retained moisture and it's just soaked through. So it's time to make it look like something that you'd actually want to use rather than part of a horror movie.
Horror is definitely not the theme of the 50th wedding anniversary celebration they're hosting. So Phil needs to get stuck in.
This is the glamorous chateau life that everyone thinks I need. Trying to avoid getting my face as near to the toilet seat as possible.
Unfortunately, Phil, there are no easy jobs in a chateau, but some are cleaner than others.
I'm making bath bombs for all the guests that are coming. The difference between me and Phil is that I'm quite creative and I've always done like decorating and ideas, little soft touches, upholstering, painting, furniture. That is my strength. Phil loves the manly job roles.
Smells wonderful.
We certainly established the rules of the household, so to speak.
Oh,
Glamorous.
I'm gonna add rose fragrance oil. You want to be able to throw in a bath bomb and the whole room fills with scent to take you away to a nicer, more relaxing place.
It smells wonderful.
Phil thinks he's got a solution to the damp problem.
With a little luck, a dehumidifier will solve the issue. In time for me to decorate for the party. Let's rip it all off and see what happens.
Let's add a bit of colour. It's just a bit of fun play with the colours, so it doesn't really matter. It's whatever the interior you're trying to match it to.
The colour scheme is the least of Phil's worries.
I might be end up putting lining paper over the problem again for a second time.
I always hate when they fall apart and crumble. But yay, this one came out great.
Angelina's bath bombs may be good to go, but with just a few weeks before their first paid event, the toilet is anything but.
A lot damper than I thought. You can actually feel the moisture in it. I'm a little bit worried that I won't have enough time before the party to let this dry out and then be able to decorate it properly.
There's little option but to wait and pray the damp dries out in time. Not only can I feel Philip's pain, I think I can smell it as well. This is the magnificent Chateau de Jalène. It's the home of British couple Michael and Jonathan. 3 years ago, they swapped life in London, working as a social housing manager and a buyer, for a new life in the Loire Valley.
We thought it was too good an opportunity to miss.
With the help of investors, they've converted it into 15 holiday apartments and a wedding venue. But with only a handful of weddings booked so far this year, they haven't made a profit yet. They've decided this year is make or break for them.
Jonathan and I don't earn anything out of this until it starts making money. We've got to make the decision, can we still sustain the two of us being here?
They're doing everything they can to keep the costs down and attract more guests to stay at the chateau. Recently, they explored some of the chateau's many caves, looking for anything of value.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
They found 40 bottles of wine dating back to the 1970s.
Motherload!
Which they plan to share with wine buffs and connoisseurs staying at the chateau.
1995.
Increasing the experience and appeal of staying at this amazing place. And they found a well.
We got water.
A valuable free source of water that Jonathan plans on trying to extract later. Today, I'm going to help Jonathan search for something in one of the sealed-up caves. In the back of the car, I got my tools. We're going exploring. Boys will play. That's not a small chateau.
Hello, Dick.
Jonathan, hello. Lovely to meet you.
And you. Thanks ever so much for coming.
Oh, thanks. I've actually got my tools in the back of the car. If I just grab those, can we go and have a look at some of these caves?
Sure. Straight out the gate there, round the block.
The chateau's moat is over 30 feet wide, 16 feet deep, and runs around the building for almost a quarter of a mile. You could get a bus down here, so my car's no problem. This is just a sort of a playground for boys, isn't it? Just the things you can do. There's an awful lot of wear on these stones, and they're sedimentary. They're quite soft. You can see crumbling around here, can't you, as well?
Well, that's the effect of the water.
But it is safe, isn't it?
Well, in the main, yes.
I'll take Jonathan's word for it. So what are we looking for, then?
We had a Facebook message from one of the girls who was at school here who said that she was looking out of the windows and before the Germans left, she saw them putting the wine into the caves and bricking them up afterwards.
The German army occupied the chateau during the Second World War. And, of course, if it was good enough to brick up, it was good wine.
Yeah, that's what I think.
There could be more wine, as if they haven't found enough already. OK, I've got some drill, some hammer.
There's one, for instance, that you could get into. And then there's others.
Michael and Jonathan have 9 bricked-up caves coming off their moat. Today we'll have time to search just one for the fabled hidden wine. Which one? Which one?
And here's one, look. For instance, look at this one.
The really exciting thing about this is we got no ideas.
No, I haven't a clue.
This is why people treasure hunt, because in here there could be anything. And we're going 50-50. No, I don't think Michael would approve that, would he?
No, you wouldn't. Nor would the French government either.
Really?
No, we have, in our contract, it says that anything that we discover is given over to the state. So, shh.
OK. If we find anything, keep quiet, everyone, right? Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably take this bit out here or go down between these bricks, because I've got no idea. Yeah, you up for it?
Yeah, I'm up for it.
OK. Smashing through this wall with a sledgehammer risks damaging whatever goodies lie within. Instead, I'm using my power drill for a more targeted approach. You happy with that?
Yeah, I am.
It's going in quite easy. That's not a bad place to choose, is it? Here we go.
How far are you in, then?
Hold on. OK, so 6 inches, 8 inches. This is for checking out drains, and I've got it for when we've got problems with sort of the sewage. And there's a couple of areas in the chateau that we use it on. I've got a little camera. So I've got a light I can turn on. This is the first light that's gone in there for,
Yes.
we don't even know how long.
No, we don't.
It could be 50, it could be 100. Get yourself over here, get yourself over here. So you can see the screen. Watch, see the screen?
Yeah, wow.
I feel a bit queasy, I feel like one of those doctors.
I think your horse has definitely got a problem, sir.
Yeah, arthroscopy. Here we go. Watch. Show cave. It opens up. See, it opens up. We don't know what we can see. That looks like there's light reflecting off things there, doesn't it? In the heart of France proudly stands Chateau de Mazilier. Dating back to 1174, the medieval castle has had many noble owners, including the Knights Templar and King Louis XIV. Now it's home to this 9-year-old Louis and his mum Fiona.
I think my interest in period property started as a child. I used to play in a very big country house, and I was used to think, yeah, I'm going to get myself one of these one day. I spent 30 years in the UK in property development, so to buy the castle, it seemed very logical to me that it would be the next biggest challenge to take.
Located in the Limousin region of France, it's got 13 bedrooms, a 14-bed coach house, a chapel, and some medieval dungeons. Similar chateaus are on the market for about £900,000 at the moment.
Most people would admit that they do have that fantasy, that notion, wouldn't it be lovely to have a castle?
Yeah, very romantic in theory. Fiona's had to put in a bucket load of work to get this 840-year-old relic looking like it does now. And there's still plenty more to do.
I remember arriving and sitting on my bed that night and just crying, thinking, oh my God, what have you actually done?
She started by converting the servants' quarters for her and Louis into an apartment with all mod cons.
It's 5 years on. He loves the castle, wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
The long-term plan is to rent out some of the chateau's 13 bedrooms as a B&B, but there's still a lot of work to do before that's possible. Fiona's been working almost entirely single-handedly, all paid for by using life savings from her past property developments.
I'm doing it on my own because it gives me a sense of achievement at this stage of my life. This is kind of was going to be my baby. This is kind of the heart.
But there's a catch. There's a limited time each year Fiona can get the work done.
There are certain works that you can only really do when the weather is very, very warm, because castles generally are very, very cold and cool. So the painting, wallpapering, once it hits, I'd say October, you can forget that right through to March, and because the wallpaper will not take, so it's a total waste of time. So more pressure's on, because you know it won't be until the following year that you can really get works done.
Fiona's been having ongoing problems with the electrics.
Some of the floors have not been updated for maybe 30 years.
This is one job Fiona can't tackle herself. She's called her mate, electrician Pete, to try and fix the issue once and for all.
So every time I turn on the electricity box, It works for a while, and then it's just tripping out.
Okay.
And at times it's taking the other levels out as well at the same time. Yesterday it did work, it was fine, it was running.
It's fine all day?
All day. And then today it's being very temperamental.
First, Pete has to find the fuse box where the problem is.
It's trial and error, basically.
Eventually, he finds it on the first floor.
Okay. It's that circuit down there that has given us the problems.
Unfortunately, now he has to go through all the lights on the first floor to find the fault. If he can't find the problem, Fiona could end up having to rewire this whole section of the chateau, a cost of thousands she just doesn't have the budget for.
Trying to find problems in a place this size could be a real nightmare.
It just feels never-ending, and the money's going out and nothing's coming in, and you just see this bank balance going down and down and down.
A 200-mile drive northwest of Fiona's, I'm hunting for a stash of wine, supposedly hidden by the Germans in one of Jonathan and Michael's sealed-up caves. And we've spotted something shiny.
Do you know what we could do? We could put another hole a couple of inches lower down, maybe 4 inches lower down, and then we've got some light coming in the top hole, maybe shine a torch in the top. You watching? Here we go. Yeah. Right, we're going in again. See if we've got any more light. Here we go.
Hey.
What's that? What's that? What's that?
It's glass. It's a bottle.
It's a bottle. It's a bottle.
It is, isn't it? That's the neck of a bottle.
It's more than one bottle, mate.
Yes, it is.
It's confirmed. We've a positive sighting. Even a lower-end bottle of wine from the 1940s could be worth as much as 100 quid.
Jonathan, if you're up for it, mate, I'm going to put a couple more holes in here. Where this is now, we're hammering it out. This is the same as a hammer and chisel.
Or a knife and butter.
Whoa, that is so soft. I have to be careful. I don't want to bring down any stone in there.
You're not through, are you?
Okay.
You are.
I am through. Oh, there's more in the back. Hold on, we don't want any of that to fall inwards, do we?
No.
So reach over it.
Ow. I'll tell you why, ow.
Whoa, that's what we saw.
Well, that's champagne-y type stuff, isn't it? Or brandy.
Champagne doesn't last as well as wine, but one unspoiled bottle could be worth between 100 and 200 pounds.
Oh, wow. It goes right up the back.
There's an awful lot of broken glass in there. Are there any still in one piece?
And there's one sitting right within tantalising distance that's still got the neck on it. The paint, that's a champagne bottle. Is it? No? And one's got a stopper in. And
No way.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Let me have a look.
No, come on.
Let me have a
Top.
picture.
Top. I think, it's very dark, but I think there's one in there that's still got the cap on top of it. So...
Point on, there we go. Ready? Oh, no. Oh, man, that's just...
I'm parched just looking at it.
Oh, so sad. It's a beautiful bottle. Oh, I thought it was going to be this one.
Well, it's frustrating, but this has been fascinating. These bottles could have been hidden by the Germans at the tail end of the Second World War. But the cave's sandstone is constantly being eroded by water, and unfortunately, over the years, it's fallen down and smashed Chateau de Jalen's precious cargo.
But I tell you what, I have got a bottle of that 1979 we found, if you fancy having a glass.
OK, yes.
This is a wine Jonathan and Michael found before. I hope it survived the 38 years. Just over 100 miles northwest at Chateau, it promises to be another busy day for Phil and Angelina.
Beautiful, having lots of space for obviously the events and stuff. There's a downside sometimes. When you get to the end of the day, you look on your phone and your step count is up in lots of 30,000, and you haven't actually gone anywhere. You've just been walking around with some wood.
They're hosting their first ever paid event in just over a week. While Phil waits for the toilets to dry out, he's making a start on the other part of his master plan, the outdoor bar he's promised the party clients.
There's never been anything particularly simple at this house. This is the bar.
They need to make this 50th wedding party a success to prove to themselves they have the mettle to run a permanent chateau business.
Careful. The event is extremely close now, and I'm really nervous. I'll say it when Angelina isn't here. My worry is that if we don't make this event a success, I could handle that, but I don't think Angelina could. Angelina's tolerance for making a success out of this place is a lot lower than mine.
I don't know what we'll do. If this fails, I think we'll have to rethink whether we can make it, you know, are we good at this? We'd have to go back to England and resume our lives and go to normal, you know, day jobs that are not as exciting as this, not, you know, having an adventure of, you know, looking after, you know, great big old chateau.
The outdoor bar was a key part of Phil's sales pitch for the party.
It's taking shape. It's looking like a bar.
On the night, this bar will be serving up to 60 people.
Oh, there's a bend in the wood. I can see it. It's going to happen. Oh. I think we've done it. One last thing.
With the bar furnishings in place, Phil's ready for his first customer.
Wow!
What do you think?
Some lighting, bunting, you know, it'll be stunning.
Yeah, I'm really glad you're envisaging all of these things, because once I finish building it, that's what you're doing.
Can you pour me a drink then? I love it. You come prepared.
It's wine or wine?
Wine will be fine. Cheers.
To the bar.
I'm at Chateau de Gelaine, about to taste one of the 40 bottles of wine Jonathan and Michael found in one of their caves. It's glorious up here, isn't it?
It is. This...
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's our escape.
You can't shake this at all, can you?
No.
Wow. 1979. 79 isn't generally regarded as a good year in France, but I tell you what, I'll just be amazed if this 38-year-old wine hasn't spoiled. And if it hasn't, it'll be a good indication that the other 39 bottles could be in good nick too. I really feel very privileged.
Yeah.
This was actually bottled the year I became a second lieutenant in the British Army. Oh, that's the big thing. Oh, my Jonathan!
Doesn't smell vinegary,
no,
does it?
That's good. We're all right. It's not corked at all.
No.
That's actually very special.
Yeah.
That really surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah. Look at the lovely colour.
Jonathan decants it to separate out any sediment and let the wine breathe.
I'm going to put a bit of air in it now. Pour it a bit from
That's fine. No, don't go. So this is the thing to do. What a cracking way to end the day. Thank you, sir.
Cheers. Hey, that is surprisingly good. Wow. It is amazing. Actually, the second gulp was even better.
That is decidedly good.
It was worth it, wasn't it?
Life in a shadow's not too terrible, is it?
Not at moments like these.
It's been a good day for Jonathan. So the hoard of hidden German wine didn't survive. But if the wine I tasted today is anything to go by, the other bottles could attract Chateau de Gelaine wine-loving guests. Just under 200 miles southeast, Fiona Jones has spent the last 5 years renovating her gorgeous 12th century chateau. This summer, she's been tackling its ground floor. She already rents out rooms to guests in the estate's 3-bedroom gîte and eventually wants to do the same with rooms in the 13-bedroom chateau. Today, Pete, for trusty electrician, is trying to find a faulty circuit that's causing the fuses to blow on all 4 floors of the chateau.
It might be a loose cable somewhere, which is causing a overheating problem, and he's stripping the whole circuit out.
Meanwhile, Fiona's getting on with decorating the dining room.
It hasn't been used as a dining room for forever. The whole wall's been plastered now in a nice English plaster, so that needs sealing and painting, ready for wallpapering. Originally, the room would have had this panelling from the floor to the ceiling.
Fiona finds some of the wood panels hidden behind a false wall. Others have been turned into doors. She's bringing the treasures back to their original home here.
That's going to look really nice once that's stained and varnished.
It's a 2-person job, so she's called in builder Dave to help. She just needs to decide which panel she wants where.
Hold on, that's damaged. We won't use that one. We'll use the damaged one up the far end where it doesn't show so much. Okay, ready? Go. Thank you. That one's a bit taller as well, isn't it? Okay, move it along and we'll try another one. Just... Oh, nearly. Oh, nearly. OK, that's not going to work either, is it? Oh.
That's what I'm getting at.
It's like Laura and Hardy, isn't it?
It's
OK.
a little bit, yeah.
Fiona's already under pressure to get this work done before the winter hits and it's too cold for plaster, paint and wallpaper to hold. But she's made other plans that are adding to the stress.
I'm going to host an event at the end of July. The mayor is going to attend. He's very interested in seeing what I've been doing up here. I do at least need to have the dining room complete, so then with the event, I can show everybody the whole of the ground floor. Okay, so the pressure's on.
It's a lot of work to finish in just 9 weeks.
Smalls together, bigs together.
No, it looks awful.
Looks awful?
Yeah, no, I don't like it. Small, big, small, big, small, big. We're having a domestic now.
Looks like sparks are starting to fly here and are hopefully about to upstairs because Pete thinks he's solved the problem of the tripping electrics.
The problem is here, you've got a bare connector on the neutral and he's touching the ears, and that's what's caused the problem.
Something as simple as 2 bare wires touching each other has been tripping the whole chateau on and off for the past 5 years. All Pete needs to do is replace the wires, a 2-minute job.
Good job on tool. OK, that's job done. Everything's on.
That quick fix has potentially saved Fiona thousands of pounds.
Hey, give me 5, Pete. Hey.
She counts herself lucky that she's found a top team to work with over here.
It's purely coincidental that the few people that I do have come in to work with me are English expats. It wouldn't matter to me. You could be French, English, any nationality. As long as you get my electricity on, that's all I care about, that I can cook.
And she's finally happy with the order of the panelling. Dave's supposed to be fixing it to the wall.
That's my hand there.
Oh, it's your hand?
Yeah, don't worry, I've got another one.
Sorry. Sorry.
But there's still a lot to get done before Fiona's ready for her big party reveal.
This wall needs to be plastered and then would have to be sealed with paint and then wallpapered as well. And then it's just the flooring that's left. God, I've got so much decorating to do.
You have? Miles.
At Chateau de Gelin in the Loire Valley, after previously discovering a well in one of their caves, Jonathan and volunteers Cohen and Thomas are trying to test how easily they can extract water from it.
It's costing us €7,000 a year to water the back garden. That equates to the profit from 210 guests. So we have to have 210 people here before we've even paid to water the garden.
Jonathan has hired the biggest submersible water pump he could find.
We discovered the well, but we don't know quite how much water's in there. So we need to jack up a pump, dangle it down into the well so that we can test how much is coming out. I'm hoping it's going to be like an American oil gusher.
It's certainly a big pump, bigger than they probably need for this job.
It's a serious bit of kit. I mean, that's even bigger than a fireman's hose. Is that going to go through that hole?
We measured it. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't put yourself at risk. Whatever you do, you let the thing go, all right?
It's going down.
Don't risk yourself. Okay, all right. Good luck, guys. I'm going up to turn the machine on. See you in a bit. Cross your fingers.
Ready.
A big pump needs a big generator. Hopefully, Jonathan can operate it.
So I'm just trying to remember what they taught me this morning about how to start it up. Don't do this, don't do that, and whatever you do, don't do the other. I can't remember this, that, or the other. So, in for a penny. Come on.
Yes! Yes, turn it on.
And now the moment of truth. I'm going to belt like the clappers because I want to see it coming out the other end. You ready? I'm off! Oh my God! All right.
It's going great until...
That was going down.
Oh, I don't really know what to make of it. I'm starting to get mixed feelings as to whether it's actually going to work or not.
Is this all the water that's down there? Or does the answer lie with the humongous pump they're using? Meanwhile, back at Chateau, Phil and Angelina have just a week left before hosting their first ever paid event, a 50th wedding anniversary party.
Pressure's mounting because we're very, very close and the toilets are the most important thing that I've actually had to do here, and I still haven't done them.
Severe damp in the toilets is refusing to dry out.
This wall needs to be completely scraped off, and ideally at that point you plaster it, you paint it. Don't have any time for that, so we've got to hide it for the party.
Phil's quick fix is to stretch fabric over the toilet's unsightly walls.
We're going to stretch material down over the top, and I'm just looking at the measurements. And then wood panel up to here, which we're faking with a bit of ply.
Meanwhile...
Awesome. This is fun.
Upstairs, Angelina's putting her design skills to good use.
Phil is relying on me to find the best fabric suitable for the toilet. We're pretty limited on time now. There's only, a few days left, so I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible, hand it over to Phil. Phil then completes that job and make it look great. Because this is important. You can't just walk into that toilet. You'll be shock horrified, They'll be known as the worst toilets alive,
Angelina's fabric will cover the top half of the walls, above new wooden panels that Phil is constructing. He's aiming for an old-style look with modern materials.
If we can use this, put a little square in the middle of it, when it's painted, to a quick glance, it will look like it's some original wood panelling, and hopefully no one will realise I've put a little bit of marine ply and some decorative beading on the wall. Come on. It's a fraction off level, but they are toilets after all, not an art gallery.
Here you go.
What do you think?
That's really lovely. Going to be actually in keeping with the character of the chateau. I'm really pleased with that. I'm feeling quite positive, and hopefully that's going to be a quite quick turnaround. I think it will be anyways.
It seems an end to their toilet trauma could be in sight.
I could have ironed this.
Yeah, well, you could have done lots of things.
Or maybe not.
Are you planning on stapling?
Yes, I said, can we put it corner to corner? And you went, yes.
Just like upholstery, you start from the middle and you work your way out.
I need to be able to see how it's hanging.
This isn't stretched, but yeah.
Yeah, well, can you lean over and do that while I'm holding it up?
Oh my God, it's too hot.
Yes, I'm well aware. Fingers move.
Not that close to my finger. No, higher than my
Fingers
finger.
away.
I'm not moving my finger. Confined space, halogen bulb, 2 people, horrendous smell.
And that rising temperature is causing rising tempers.
Same thing you do here. You're supposed to do the middle and then the sides.
Fine.
But obviously,
Why
because,
don't-
but
why-
because you already started on the corner and it's at an angle, which I can see, it's like this. What's the point of me being here if you're not going to listen to me? That's at an angle. I can see it. Look. Now I have to waste my time and wait for him to come back.
270 miles southeast, for Fiona, sometimes chateau renovations have to take a back seat to normal everyday life.
We're just going to go and collect Louis now.
Fiona's little boy gets dropped off by the school bus, which also very conveniently acts as Fiona's personal courier service.
Merci, thank you. The coach driver has kindly dropped off a delivery of emergency paint for the dining room. That's very, very common in the small little community. Everybody kind of helps each other.
Fiona also needs the paint for an 18th century staircase that she's renovating in the north wing.
The size of the staircase and just for the use for the servants demonstrates how rich the family actually was.
These days, all it demonstrates is how damp and rotten it is after years of neglect.
And you can see on the old lights here all of the red dust from the spores, from the wet rot and the dry rot.
As well as causing structural damage, some damper mould can cause skin irritation and breathing problems.
So I'm just getting the majority of the fungus removed, and then a nice rough sandpaper will clean this up completely.
Then Fiona will use a chemical treatment to stop it returning. But next for today, ripping out the old door.
This wall was put up to separate the staff when it was run as an equestrian centre in the 1980s.
One of my favourite things about chateaus are the constant surprises. Some pleasant, some just plain weird.
This did have a tongue and groove wall, but they've kind of filled in a gap with hundreds of pairs of socks, just to use as a type of an insulation. This has got to be my first out of all of my renovation jobs for 30 years. I've never seen anyone use socks as insulation. I saved you some socks.
Save you some socks, great.
What size shoe are you? I've heard you're size 2. Ladies' size.
Never mind.
Dave removes the rest of the wooden beams that supported the old wall and ceiling above the door.
Hopefully that's going to come out. I'll pass that to you, Fiona. Do you mind the nails again? Alrighty. All done. Right.
It's very nice to see it gone. I think that's been enclosed for about 40 years. It'll be beautiful if I keep telling myself that.
It will.
Fingers crossed. At Chateau Bayerl, Philip and Angelina have made up over the toilet.
We can get away with just one toilet for the day.
I don't think so.
Angelina finishes hanging the cloth that will hide the toilet's stained walls.
Spend the entire day in the toilet, comes in and swoops in for the glory.
Yay! I'm really, really pleased. I'm actually really good at this.
Living in a chateau, you imagine it's going to be a fairy tale, but the mountain of work that goes with it, along with starting a business, it takes its toll. We're both sensible enough to know there's a bigger picture. You know, small arguments now for a better life in the future is not a problem. Yeah. We're on the home stretch. I'll have a working toilet downstairs.
This is how it was before, and this is how it is now. The fabric has covered everything that's horrid and lurking behind it. It's better than a wallpaper or a paint because it's actually letting the wall breathe through the fabric. So the longer it stays on, the longer it'll dry out.
With the fabrics hung and panels in place, that's one guest toilet nearly ready.
It's going to look better than I think I expected. I can see the end result. I need to finish off some finer details, like actually put the toilet in.
With one toilet patched up and the bar built, it's been a productive few days.
Got us something to drink to celebrate. Today's been a tough day.
But with less than a week before the party, there's still a huge amount to do.
It's all or nothing. If we don't get it right, you'd really have to evaluate if we're capable of doing this moving forward. It's like make or break to the life that you really want.
It's just life, I guess. Chateau life.
At Chateau de Gelaine, Jonathan was using a powerful pump to extract a free source of water from a well, potentially saving him $7,000 a year in water bills for their 20-acre garden. When it stopped.
I was very excited because it came gushing out. We'll have to look down the well now and see what's left.
Volunteer Cohen is still hopeful.
There is still some water, right?
There is?
Yeah.
The big pump wasn't pushed far enough into the well.
And we repositioned the pump.
Okay.
So we think we can give it another try.
Superb. I'll go back up. Let me know when you want to turn it on.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Okay. All right, we can give it another go. There it comes.
The pump pulls up the last of the water. There was enough there to water their 7-acre garden at least once. But now they need to check that the water replenishes itself. Otherwise, this well is useless.
But of course, the real test is, does the thing refill? So we know whether we've got a goer or not. So, yeah.
They'll come back after a coffee to find out. Back in central France, Fiona's begun restoring a 300-year-old staircase. She's putting up some ugly felt, left over for when this part of the chateau was home to a caretaker who clearly kept a lot of cats.
There's got to be over 100 steps here. So all of this is literally being soaked in cat urine. That's why it smells so bad. It's actually making my eyes sting at the moment.
Fiona's vision is to recreate how the staircase would have looked in its prime in the 1700s.
Only 99 steps to go. I want to try and preserve all of the wood. I don't want to carpet it. I just want to make it look as original as possible.
Take note, people. Everyday chateau life definitely isn't always living like kings and queens. Sometimes the reality is more Cinderella.
There's all mouse poo on that as well. Big cobwebs under there. It's a good job I'm not scared of spiders, isn't it? The spiders in the castle are so huge, you hear them running across the floor like they've got boots on.
After an hour of graft, that's just one flight of stairs cleared. There's 3 more and months of work before the staircase is restored.
All of the steps are going to need to be sanded. And then also, we're talking about each landing as well.
Seems to me Fiona's taking on an awful lot. Let's hope she finishes it in time for the mayor's visit in 9 weeks. At Chateau de Gelaine, Jonathan and volunteers Cohen and Thomas are waiting to see if the well refills with water.
Yeah, it's definitely filling up.
You absolutely sure?
Yeah, it's bubbling.
That's great news. That means we've got a constant supply. The only thing that we did wrong here was that we've got a pump that's far too big for the amount of water that we've got in the well.
I think with a smaller pump, you have a very good supply of water.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier. Good. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
It's official. Jonathan and Michael have just secured a saving of $7,000 a year.
Where's this coming up then?
It should be coming up.
That's so they can get that oversized pump back out again.
Why isn't it coming in?
Because it's still full of water out there.
As well as being a tight squeeze, the pump weighs a hefty 50 kilos.
Can we attach it to the car and then pull it up with the car? It could have a disaster, because if both ropes snap, then we've lost the pump down there.
Ideally, you'd use a four-wheel drive with a winch and a metal cable for this job. Jonathan has a Renault people carrier and what looks like a clothesline.
Slow.
How far is it?
Couple meters. Stop! Stop! Stop the engine.
Thank you. Phew. This free water supply has been a great find. It's surprises like these that can make all the difference when running a chateau.
It's part of what makes it enjoyable.
Next time...
Stop it! Get away!
Jonathan and Michael deal with the arrival of the chateau's investors.
Come on in. I wasn't expecting quite the backlash.
It's a mad rush for Phil and Angelina to set up the anniversary party at their chateau.
Loads of nails fell into that sink
Don't care.
just exhausted, really.
And Fiona struggles to get her chateau ready for the mayor's visit.
I'm rushing, thinking about Louis. Gravity, stay.
This is me, Dick Strawbridge, my wife Angel, and our two children in our glorious French chateau. We haven't ever regretted what we've done. It is so worth it. We moved here 3 years ago to follow our dream of living life in our very own castle.
Oh my God!
But it's not been easy.
I think I'm a bit too old for this.
As dozens of other Brits know only too well.
Oops. Floor needs replacing as well.
Because it turns out we're not the only expats who have bought a French chateau.
Wow, absolutely love it.
25-year-old Bordeaux.
Motherload!
In this series, we'll reveal how we're running our chateau as a business.
There's not a thing about making sausages that I don't find humorous.
I'm still finding things that I haven't seen.
And see how these daring Brits are running theirs.
Oh, whoa. This place is done up.
As they face the ups.
It's really beautiful.
This is a rare moment, but I am genuinely at peace.
And downs.
It's a lot worse than it looks.
Of their new lives in these crumbling and magnificent buildings.
It is a bit of a fantasy, living in a French chateau. We might have a few problems on the way, but that's part of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Today, Angel gets crafty.
What are you doing in my kitchen anyway?
Is it okay, baby, if I just use your kitchen for a minute to make some candles?
And wedding cakes.
Oh, what's got here?
Ta-da!
One couple risk their future in France and how a big event goes at their chateau, but...
The lift has jammed itself on the ground floor.
There's one problem.
They don't think they've got any more parts like it because it's so old.
After another.
I found the pipe that's leaking. It's got a split in it. It looks like it is the mains pipe.
And one chateau struggles to be ready in time for its first ever paying guests.
This is full of sand. That is very threatening.
The beautiful Chateau de Gelaine sits in the Loire Valley and is the home and business of couple Michael and Jonathan.
We love the French lifestyle, we love the French language, love the French people. Owning the chateau is a brilliant experience.
They run it as a location for holidays and weddings, but now they're about to make a decision on whether or not they should continue. Today, they're prepping for a wedding.
We've got everything at stake. There's no more money.
I don't think you can put any more into it now. I couldn't put any more hours into this. I couldn't put any more money into it. We haven't got any more money, and I haven't got any more time in the day. So there's nothing more we can put into it.
45 guests are due tomorrow, and they'll be staying for a week. It's going to make them £30,000 if it all goes well.
I need the SAL card, please, to get some iron bar. And have you got any cash as well, please?
Stress levels are high, and the news that the bride wants the wedding to be held in the Chateau's forest brings up new problems.
The wedding's in the forest by John's and East Tower. It's changed, so it's out there now.
Well, so what are they doing with chairs now? Are they going to carry the chairs up there, or are they going to stand for the ceremony?
I didn't ask the detail.
And if that wasn't enough to deal with, there's a problem with the Chateau's lift.
The lift has jammed itself on the ground floor. Fortunately, nobody inside it. Doors jammed open, and we're about a foot, 30 centimetres or so off the level of the floor, so we can't use it. I've put in a call to the engineer. My worry is the bride is going to have to come down from the very top floor in her wedding dress and her wedding shoes down an emergency staircase. Just don't need things like this to go wrong.
It will take the engineer 2 hours to drive to the Chateau. It gives Jonathan time to deal with another ongoing problem. The shrine in the Chateau's grounds is still missing a Jesus figurine from its cross. And now the bride wants her wedding outside, it needs to be replaced. Luckily, an antique shop owner has just been in touch about a miniature Jesus that's just come in.
So, fingers crossed. Jesus, here we come. Bonjour. Bonjour, madame. Je m'appelle Jonathan de Château de Gelaine. C'est vous qui m'appelez avec l'information de Jésus?
Oui, je cherche. Tout à fait, oui, oui. Je vous ai appelé hier.
Et est-ce que vous avez ici?
Oui, juste là. Je vous le montre?
Oui, s'il vous plaît, merci.
Donc le voilà. Je vous laisse regarder.
Je dois réfléchir un moment, s'il vous plaît. Merci
je suis là,
bien.
Si vous avez besoin.
I don't want it pristine, because the cross itself isn't pristine, but look at my goodness gracious, I couldn't have wished for better.
The price is okay, but the only question for Jonathan is the size.
I've forgotten the bloomin' tape measure after all that, but I know that the distance between the nails on the cross is the span of my hand. Look, you couldn't get better matched than that. So, fingers crossed, but it's in good nick, so I'm very excited. Oh, my goodness. Day's turning out good. Now all I need is the lift to be fixed. 1, 2, 3.
C'est parfait.
Merci bien.
Beaucoup.
À la prochaine.
À bientôt.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Back at the Chateau, and with the lift engineer due to arrive at any moment, Jonathan delegates the Jesus repair to one of the volunteer workers, Alan.
Moment of truth, Alan.
You did get something then?
I did.
Right, well, let's offer it up and see what we've got.
Actually, this is too big.
No, leave this with me and I'll get him attached to the cross in a suitable manner.
This works for me. Cheerio then. See you in a minute.
All right.
The lift engineer arrives on time, but there's just half a day remaining to fix the fault in time for the wedding. Angela and I know all too well the challenges and costs involved in putting on weddings at a chateau. One service we offer the bride and groom is to provide icing-free wedding cakes.
A naked wedding cake. It's a fashion in the UK. We're kind of celebrating Victoria sponges. So last night, I baked these cakes. And if you bought a cake like this, you're talking £300-400 quid.
The ingredients for Angela's wedding cake probably costs around £50.
I'm starting off with my first layer, and then I'm going to put buttercream, jam, second layer. I'm using this little spatula because I can't find any of the spatulas. Remember, I'm in Dick's kitchen.
My kitchen, remember that.
So he's probably filed them somewhere else, which is fine. I just don't know about it. OK, so second layer, strawberry jam.
Now for the tricky part.
I always dread this bit. OK. Da-da-da. OK, here we go. Right, lovely.
Time for a little structural engineering.
Now, what's going to happen is, as I put the Next layer on, it's going to be really, really heavy. You can use jumbo straws or dowels to take the pressure. I mean, it's everybody's worst sort of nightmare, isn't it, that the wedding cake starts falling down. Right, I'm going to need a little board, because I can't just have the dowels. OK, so my final tier. This is where we decorate it with flowers and berries and all nice things to make it really, really, really appetising. Just using little toothpicks to just keep the berries in position. I'm just slowly building this up. Just a real celebration of nature. You know, it's berries from the garden, it's flowers from the garden. It's all about engineering. I'm going to finish this off with a little bit of caster sugar. Ta-da! I'd be happy with that at my wedding.
It doesn't take long for the smell of Angela's baking to reach me and the kids.
Oh, what's got here?
Ta-da!
Looks yummy. It looks like a baking cake.
Little Arthur and Dorothy love Mum's cake. I think we'll let them have some of this and we'll just have to make another.
Arthur, do you think you could eat all of this? There you go, baby. My son's happy.
Wow.
I love you. Thank you, darling.
It's the best cake.
And it's the best finger tipper.
At Chateau de Gelaine in the Loire Valley, 45 guests for the big wedding arrive from America in the morning. The engineer has just a few hours left to fix the lift.
The lift has jammed itself, so we can't use it. Let's hope it's not too bad.
After about an hour, Jonathan is anxious for a progress report.
Pas une bonne nouvelle, hein?
Bonne nouvelle. Il a dit bonne nouvelle.
Pas une bonne nouvelle.
Oh, pas une bonne nouvelle. Oh, my God.
Ressort les cassettes.
Ça c'est où? What this is a spring that works the whole of the descent of the lift, and it's completely broken. And he says he doesn't think that the part exists anymore. Si pas aujourd'hui.
Je sais pas. Ça va dépendre.
Perched on a steep hillside, overlooking the beautiful Dordogne Valley, is the 17th century Chateau Madame. Originally built as a defensive fort, it's now owned by business partners and lifelong friends, Mandy and Steve, whose dream is to run it as a holiday cheat.
I think the nicest thing I like are the little towers. For me, they create the character of Chateau Madame from the outside. It really makes it very distinctive and very pretty, actually. It's just wonderful.
The chateau sits in the heart of the Dordogne, about 100 miles east of Bordeaux. It's one of the most popular regions of France for tourism, and tomorrow, Steve and Mandy are due to receive their first ever guests.
Right now, the pressure is very, very heavy duty.
And they've been promised a swimming pool.
Yeah.
But it's been beset with problems. Rotten concrete, a fallen wall, complicated stonework, and a leak.
There's been so many things that have happened that have held things up. I tried so hard to just think positive, but thinking positive doesn't fix things that are a disaster.
At least the pool's filled, but he now only has a day to finish the patio.
I'm bushing down the corners to make a radius, which makes them look the right age, but it also makes it less apparent when they're not perfectly flat.
The roughened texture also gives the patio an anti-slip surface.
The fear is that you get to the last possible thing and you give it a tink and the whole thing splits right in half, which happens sometimes.
Deep down, Steve relishes the challenge of getting this place looking just right.
It might seem strange, the idea of getting everything absolutely perfect and tuning it like a violin. But the fact is, getting things right is an enormous pleasure, and that's really where I get my enjoyment out of doing things.
It's the final slab of the patio. I hope for Steve's sanity it fits.
There. It works, fits.
Now he just needs to take an inch or two off the edge. I wonder where all that sand and dust is going to end up.
This is full of sand. And okay, that's like a disaster, actually.
All the debris has ended up in the water.
So that sand needs to be reduced. That has to be sponged out.
Steve needs to get a move on. The margelles need cementing, and now the pool needs cleaning. And the first ever guests to this place arrive tomorrow afternoon.
This has been the most frustrating, without any question, the most frustrating thing. Don't do it. Swimming pools are nice to swim in, but building them is very difficult.
After struggling to make a profit at Chateau de Gelaine, Jonathan and Michael have decided their biggest event of the year, a wedding, is going to be make or break for them. If it works out well, they'll stay. If it goes badly, they'll throw in the towel.
The general look of the chateau, it could never be more important than the next couple of days. Well, a couple of days, hell, the wedding's tomorrow. I haven't got a couple of days.
The 45 wedding guests from America will be staying for a whole week.
If we don't go down well in the States, we are going to be in trouble. This is the first, and it can't be the last. We can't afford for that to happen.
But a broken lift means the bride will have to use the stairs from her third-floor suite if it isn't fixed today.
So we're touch and go now. What a day. What a day for it all to happen.
It's August, and the lift engineer needs to find a replacement part. This is a time when most of France is closed for holidays.
Whether the lift works or not rides on this phone call. Hello.
Looking good for the lift?
No.
Oh.
It's a part about that big, a little spring that's just snapped in half through just age, 20 years, and they don't think they've got any more parts like it because it's so old. He's ringing Angers to see if his boss has got one, and if he has, they'll come out from Angers. He'll drive towards Angers, meet in the middle, do the swap, and come and do it.
But if not, they can order, though?
Well, don't know.
Must be able to make it or do something with it.
Wow.
Can't just condemn a whole lift because of one small part.
But what are we going to do about all the stuff that's got to go up and down?
Do it by hand.
Donc je vais chercher une pièce, donc je fais moitié de route avec mon patron.
Il a trouvé une pièce. Il a trouvé la pièce.
Voilà.
Merci bien. Merci. Fantastic. He says he'll be back here in about half an hour.
While the engineer goes to pick up the spare part, Jonathan wants to see how Chateau volunteer Alan is getting on with an essential repair job.
Ready for the cross?
He was tasked with putting Jesus back on his cross.
Moment of truth. How does that look?
Wow, wow. Fantastic. Now that is finished off properly. Doesn't that look spectacular? That makes all the difference. Having found that, he looks absolutely right on there. He's absolutely the right colour, absolutely the right size. I couldn't be happier. Good. Thank you, Alan.
Pleasure.
Right. Come on then, Lulu. This way.
Michael and his team of volunteers are getting things ready for tomorrow's wedding.
Do you find that when people are having their disco in here, they do tend to break glass?
The wedding planner, Janet, is having to adapt to a last-minute idea from the bride.
The wedding was supposed to be taking place in one place outside. Now they're going to get married in the forest by a little tower, so that's a surprise for everyone, which is a good 10 minutes walk if you're carrying chairs about.
The broken lift is also adding pressure to Janet's plans. 156 bottles of wine are stuck on the top floor of the chateau.
We're hoping that we can get it to work. If not, there will probably be 20 or 30 people lined up down the stairs passing boxes of wine to each other so we can get it out into the fridge this afternoon.
The list of lift jobs is growing, from moving wine to putting piles of excess chairs into storage. 45 minutes later, the lift engineer returns, and Jonathan's earlier optimism takes a plunge.
He says it's not the same piece, but he says he's going to see if it will work. So we're still up in the air with it.
I hope it works out, Jonathan, because if not, you're going to have a lot of annoyed wedding guests on your hands, and that's not going to be good for business. At Chateau de la Motte Husson, Angel and I are always trying out new things that could potentially help our business. Everywhere I look, she seems to be burning scented candles.
But I'm spending far too much money on candles. If I'm really pushing a boat out, I'll spend 40 quid on a candle. I know it's absolutely daylight robbery, isn't it? I'm giving this a go because it's really, really simple to make. So I've bought this soil wax and I'm going to melt it down.
Angel picked up a kilogram bag of this stuff for just under a tenner.
I'm going to do it like I would heat chocolate.
She melts it on a low heat.
So it doesn't burn it.
And 5 minutes later...
Right, we're nearly there. This is good. Might have to call my husband because I'm using his meat thermometer. Baby, come here. Sorry, I didn't know. Am I allowed to use this? Oh, it's not a meat. Is this the sweet thermometer?
Yeah.
It's
50 on it?
Huh?
Yes, it's perfect. It's 50.
You know what? I just was thinking that...
That's easier to read, isn't it?
Huh? That is easier. We've got so many thermometers in this house.
What do you do? OK, I don't want to ask, but I'm not going to eat any of it, so it's not that.
No, you're not going to eat any of it.
Nice. What are you doing in my kitchen anyway?
Is it okay, baby, if I just use your kitchen for a minute to make some candles?
Right. Of course you can.
What flavour do you fancy? Oh, that's nice.
That's a surprise for you.
It smells like lemongrass.
I shouldn't really be in here because I've got some manly things to do.
I just have to say that although I have got some essential oils, this is Dick's essential oil box.
Yes, that's very true. I'm not going to.
What flavour are you going to make me?
Fancy something floral or fruity?
You see, the other way to go is the manly odour.
Okay.
I'm working in the garden, that's probably more.
Go on, go and...
Darling, I don't mind. Whatever you want to do is lovely.
Yeah, I have to get cracking on this because it's exactly the right temperature now. So, okay, I love you. Bye-bye, bye-bye.
I'll leave her in my kitchen.
Bye-bye.
She's in my kitchen. Look what she's doing. Bye, darling.
Have fun in the garden. So I've got a few teacups and I've got these sort of old French jam jars and these tins. They sort of seem like a really good candle size.
Angel then pours the wax into the cups and jars and adds essential oil into each. Bottles can be picked up for a couple of quid.
So this one's for Dick. This one is lemongrass. Right, and then I'm gonna put this in now. And then I need something to kind of just like do.
She's using one of my pastry brushes to hold the wick in place. Angel's first candle is ready to set.
That is Dick's lemongrass candle. So here goes my special teacup. I'm going to have lavender because my favourite. So I've got these wicks. I bought like 100 for not a lot of money. And right, once that's in, I'm going to just trim it into place. Super. OK, they're going to be lovely. They smell amazing. Right, I'm going to go and pick the kids up. And fingers crossed they will be set when I'm back. We'll see. I can't wait to set them alight.
Me too. This could save us some cash. Which is what Jonathan and Michael are doing in the chapel of their chateau. 3 months ago, they found this ancient frieze in one of their 21 caves.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
They think it's over 600 years old and comes from the manor house that stood on the site of the chateau in the 1500s. Now volunteer Alan is installing the support struts for it in the chapel. Jonathan would like it to be ready and on show in time for tomorrow's wedding. The after-dinner disco will take place in here.
This is just fantastic to me, absolutely fantastic. I'm really hopeful it will be a talking point for people when they visit the chapel.
But Jonathan can't relax. He needs to know how the engineer is getting on with the broken lift. The engineer's picked up a spare part, but it's the wrong size.
He says it's not the same piece, but he says he's going to see if it will work. So we're still up in the air with it.
The engineer fits the part, then he goes up in the lift and comes back down to test it.
If the lift opens and the lift level is the same as the floor level, then the man has done it.
C'est bon.
Merci, merci bien. He's fixed it.
So, I know. Well, you're having the same reaction I had. Can you imagine what it would have been like? So I said we'd get him a cold drink. And have you got some ice in there?
Yep.
Yeah, really nice, fresh... cold
Yay, the lift fixed! Lift fixed! Yay! Yay, lift fixed! Oh.
With the lift back in action, the chairs can be shifted.
I don't fancy carrying these up and downstairs.
And the wine moved to the refrigerators. But just as everything seems to be under control, on the most stressful weekend of the year, Jonathan and Michael have another problem. Unbelievably, a water pipe supplying the chateau has just burst.
So, first the lift and now the blooming water. Who would want to own a chateau? Oh.
The whole chateau, its 45 guests and an excited bride and groom face a wedding day without any running water. Chateau Madame sits in a dramatic location on the edge of a steep hillside with views across a beautiful Dordogne valley. It's co-owned by lifelong friends, British-born Mandy and American Steve.
Mandy and I know each other better than we know ourselves. It's a very, very nice situation to be in.
Due to coming here and living in France and doing the chateau, we've become much closer.
Mandy and Steve are renting this place out for the first time to holidaymakers this season, and have spent the last 3 months battling to install a new pool.
They're not going to be going around with a magnifying glass seeing the quality of the 17th century fabric we found. They want to come here and they want to relax, and they want to lie by a swimming pool, and that's what I'm thinking of now.
Today's the day their first guests arrive. The pool's being cleaned, and stonemason Didier is here to lay the jigsaw puzzle of stones, called margelles, around the pool's edge.
As hoped, he's great. He's doing a fantastic job. He makes it all look so simple. We're really cracking along here. I couldn't be more satisfied. Oh boy, it looks just like a swimming pool.
That's very beautiful.
Exactement. C'est très beau.
That's très beau.
Oui.
Finally, everything seems to be going along nicely. Until...
I don't know if you can hear that. There's more thunder. So, I feel we're making an effect on a larger scale than it seems.
Poor Steve. If it rains, work will have to stop, as they can't risk getting the fresh cement wet.
That is very threatening. I mean, that's quite a sky. Hopefully we won't have a tornado just to really make it exciting.
With a sky like that approaching, Steve's not taking any chances. So with the help of volunteer Zeke, he's decided to lay plastic sheets down just in case.
Let it go in the water a bit, because that'll hold it.
And sure enough, within 15 minutes...
We've got plastic ready to go on this edge right over there.
Steve and Didier have little choice but to take cover and ride out the downpour.
Holidays in Périgord.
Oui, exactement.
But with the guests due to arrive in less than 5 hours, they'd better keep everything crossed it'll pass so they can get on with finishing the job. At Chateau de Gelaine, it's the day before the big summer wedding. The guests and the bride and groom, Americans David and Stephanie, will start to arrive any minute. But owner Jonathan faces a crisis. He's been called to the gardens where a water pipe has burst. He's hoping it's not the main supply to the chateau.
I've got to be out of the equation for about an hour. David and Stephanie are due to arrive in half an hour, and I need to go and get cleared up.
Volunteer Alan is trying to assess the damage. If it is the mains water supply, they may have to shut down the pipe, leaving the chateau and all the guests without any water.
I found the pipe that's leaking. It's got a split in it. It looks like it is the mains pipe.
It's one thing after another. So we're here now trying to sort out a leak. Unfortunately, the depth that it's at means that it's the mains pipe. It's not one of our small irrigation pipes. Everybody is going to start to arrive and going to be wanting to shower and things. And it's August, it's late in the day. Can you imagine what that would do on the first night of a wedding party?
This wedding is the first big booking from the American market. It's a crucial part of their business plan. Jonathan and Michael cannot afford any hiccups.
We're going to try and do a temporary repair without turning off.
Volunteer Alan hopes he can maintain a semblance of water supply to the chateau until a proper plumber can be called out.
Just going to try a rubber glove and some cable ties initially, and then we'll put some more stuff on it.
Before Jonathan can call a plumber, he gets pulled away to greet the bride and groom.
Not sure. All right.
Oh, fantastic.
That's lovely.
So when does everyone start arriving?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Jonathan is doing his best to keep calm.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, you know the place now.
Cheers.
So we can leave you to your own devices.
Exactly. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. Yay.
Right. We'll get out of your hair, and it's now your home for the week.
Ah, that's
Okay.
fantastic. Thank you.
We'll go and get your bags. You
Okay.
can go up to your room.
All right. Well, thank you.
Smash it.
All right.
later.
See you guys. Thank you. Oh, I love the stairwell.
Finally, Jonathan can try the plumber.
Oui, Sébastien, c'est Jonathan à l'appareil. Oui, je sais l'heure, mais j'ai un problème. J'espère que tu n'es pas en vacances.
Meanwhile, Alan's quick fix has slowed the leak down.
We've reduced it enough that I think that we can keep the chateau on until everyone's had their showers.
But it won't last forever.
Merci bien, à tout à l'heure, au revoir. He's not answering his phone. It's either because he's on holiday or legitimately he's finished work for the day, but normally when he sees my number, he'll pick it up.
I hope for your sake someone can come out quickly, because I wouldn't rely on that rubber glove and cable tie holding much longer. Roughly 90 miles north of Jonathan and Michael's, Angel's candles have had time to set.
I bought this cup, honestly, 20 years ago in a set, and I love it. But it cracked. Just, you know, wear and tear. I didn't want to chuck it away. I was so attached to it. Need to give it a couple of seconds more. I hope Dick notices.
Hiya. That's good, well done. Very nice. What's the scent?
Lemongrass.
It's very good. You're going to mass produce these now?
Yeah.
She thinks I'm joking, but this could save us some valuable pennies for future events we put on here. And when your business is struggling, like Jonathan and Michael's, every little helps. It's 10 a.m. the next day, the morning of the wedding, and they're about to fork out £423 to a couple of plumbers who've had to come out during French holidays to make sure there's water for the chateau's 45 guests. At least they found some.
Plumbers are here. It's looking good because they are 9 minutes early. So that's good by French standards. Woo, Lulu.
But while they fix it, they have to turn the water supply to the chateau off.
Obviously, everybody's going to be wanting to get ready for the wedding, and there's no water. Everybody will be wanting breakfast, there's no water. Lunch, there's no water. So it's critical we get this done, like, now.
It doesn't help that Jonathan gave the plumbers the wrong pipe size.
Well, I've been a bit of a chump. I said it was about 25 millimetres, which is about that, I think, which is what that looks like. But actually, it's nearer 40. Anyway, laughing apart, I've just now cost us probably 20 minutes because they've got to now go into town to the plumbing trade supply and pick up the correct piece of pipe.
Over in the Chateau forest, Michael is checking up on the new, quickly arranged wedding location down by a hunting tower.
Yeah, so it's looking good. I like the candelabras, they're cool.
And it looks like he's learned a lesson on saving money from Angel. Instead of spending hundreds on flowers, he's using ivy from the forest floor.
One of the first things we did when we got to Dick and Angel's chateau was to try and convince Jonathan, well, Angel was trying to convince Jonathan that we could use things like the ivy to decorate for weddings. And look, here we are, ivy galore.
Last-minute changes are a wedding planner's nightmare. After carting 50 chairs into the forest, wedding planner Janet now has to check that the horse and carriage that'll carry the bride can actually get to the tower.
I'm not sure whether we might need a cushion, though, in the calash for tonight, because it's a bit bumpy, but we'll... And we might have to cut a few branches down.
No.
On arrête ici. On peut arrêter ici. On arrête ici. When I left here yesterday, the plan was that we were having the wedding here, that was OK. But the horse and carriage was going to come up this alley to my right here, which is quite wide, and take a sweep round and go out on the next alleyway that way. The bride's now changed her mind because when the chairs are in place, it doesn't work. So now we're hoping that the horse and carriage can come down this alley here, which was going to be the car park, and go out of the alley that he was supposed to be coming in on. Now, if we do it that way, we've got to find somewhere to park all the cars because we don't want them down there because they'll be in the photographs. So that's my next challenge, is to find a car park in the middle of a forest.
Meanwhile, the chateau is still without water, but at least the plumber is back from the shop. It's not been the best start to the day, but think what the bride must be feeling.
We're getting some dirty looks as we walk around. We've already had the bride out to say, you know, how long is it really going to be? Don't just keep saying 5 minutes, 5 minutes. So they're obviously getting a bit het up, which is not what we wanted.
Michael and Jonathan's future as luxury chateau wedding hosts rests on how well today goes. And so far, some of the guests aren't entirely happy.
Some people have gone off without showering, so they're not going to be best pleased. Hey-ho.
Back at Chateau Madame, it's been raining for more than an hour, stopping Steve and the stonemason Didier from finishing the pool. But with the first guests due to arrive in a few hours, Steve's decided not to waste a single second, so he gets on with seeding the lawn.
This guy says it's time to plant grass.
Obviously, the lawn won't be ready for Chateau Madame's first ever paying guests. They'll just be happy to get a pool. After 2 hours, the sky begins to clear. The Dordogne sun comes out, and Mandy arrives for the final push before the guests arrive.
I see that the house is being cleaned, and, well, it's looking pretty amazing.
As is the pool, which is finally finished.
Wow, look at that. Brilliant.
This is fantastic. It's really sick. Merci.
No.
Really, absolument.
No. When the grass grows over the next few months, it'll look even better. The storm cost them precious time, and now the heat is on to get Chateau Madame ready for its guests.
It's 6:30. Now, I think they're supposed to be here between 7 and 8.
You'd better pull your finger out, Steve. Just over 200 miles north at Chateau de Gelaine in the Loire Valley, Michael and Jonathan are coming to the end of a stressful couple of days. Broken lift, a missing Jesus, a last-minute change of location for the wedding have all been sorted. And now, thanks to 2 French plumbers, the burst water mains has been fixed as well.
That's job well done. It's a relief.
45 guests have now arrived, and the wedding begins in half an hour.
Can I give you these, please, if you wouldn't mind just lighting the candles for me? I'll give you a spare in case one of them doesn't work.
OK.
Right, off we go.
I'll see you later.
See you up there.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
To make the most of the French late summer sun, it'll be an evening wedding. Jonathan and Michael want to make sure everything from now on goes without a hitch.
How are we doing for time?
Well, it's just coming up to 8.
Really?
The guests will be arriving there about 8, but the bride isn't going to be there till about 8:30. So we just need to light about 30 candles and then scoot out of the way. Angel will be proud. Look at all these ivy tumbling all over the place.
Well, it's the in thing at the moment to make it look all decayed grandeur.
See? Everyone loves a candle or two at a wedding.
Just to keep the mozzies at bay, but I fear that that's not going to be enough for 45 people.
The special moment is almost here. The guests are arriving. Have Michael and Jonathan got everything ready in time? At Chateau Madame, Mandy and Steve's first ever paying guests are due to arrive any minute.
It's nice now. Now that all the cement's covered.
Guys, help.
If it rains, then the roof hasn't got a gutter. So all the water will run straight down into my little garden here.
You guys should get everything that you have and get it out of the house and put it in Mandy's ASAP. Don't worry about how it goes. Just have to get it out of there. We've got minutes.
The pool area looks fantastic. Bravo, he did it.
Outside may be tidy, but inside's another story.
They're supposed to be here starting right now, and I haven't even got my stuff out of the room.
You need help?
Yes, desperately.
As Steve disappears inside to collect his things...
Bonjour!
The guests arrive.
I'm so glad you're here.
So are we.
It's nice and cool in here.
Wow.
Fortunately, they seem as enchanted by this lovely old chateau as Steve and Mandy are. Despite the fact that Steve's still not quite finished.
My clothes are still up on the top floor, so if you'd be a little patient with me.
They are in love with it. Very happy. The little boy is thrilled to pieces. He wants to go with, you know, knights and castles and God knows what else. So for him, it's magic.
But how does Steve feel?
And when you back away from the great clouds of stone dust, it's pretty nice. The pool is finished, the margelles are on, all the problems are taken care of and solved and are in the process of being forgotten. I have to say I'm a little tired, but the bottom line is it's a complete success.
Well done, Steve. Well done, Mandy. After the troubles you went through with that pool, you deserve a rest. Back at Chateau de Jalène, the guests are arriving, and the initial reaction is a good one.
Here, say that word.
God, this is gorgeous.
How is that, Sharon?
So pretty.
See? Isn't this a good venue smell?
Looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Yeah, really, really lovely.
After all the traumas and tribulations of this week of getting last-minute things happening, it's all come together. It's looking pretty good.
Yeah. It looks really beautiful. It just makes everything else pale into insignificance. All that hard work, all that drama, all that running around like headless chickens, and it just looks beautiful. Shall we leave them to it?
Yeah. Looks like it's all in order.
Job well done. Come on. Massive relief.
Back at the chateau, the bride is on her way, and she doesn't even have to watch her step.
Stephanie and David, you're now together in the bonds of matrimony, and I pronounce you husband and wife, and may I be the first to congratulate you both.
Oh, thank you.
As the sun sets at Chateau de Jalène and the wedding party is about to go into full swing, 3 floors up on the Chateau terrace, Michael and Jonathan find a moment to relax. But it's decision time. After all the hard work and the fiery Investors Week, are they going to stay on here?
We won't be going from 3 or 4 weddings in a summer. We'll be going to 18, 19 weddings and bringing that to loads of people rather than just 1 or 2. So this is going to be a successful business that's going to bring joy and happiness to all the people who come and have their wedding, their birthday, their anniversary at Chateau de Jalène.
Fighting words, and there's more than just themselves to consider.
If you think about how much money this is bringing to the economy here, with all these guests staying for a week, they're hiring kayaks, they're hiring cars, they're doing their shopping in the local shops, the local boulangerie. I mean, this is the sort of thing that invigorates a village community. This is not shut off from the world. It's not a stuffy museum. It's a living, vibrant space. And we're so proud that with our partners and with all the investors, that we've been able to bring this chateau to life. And it's great. And the more things like this that we can have here, the more life we can breathe back into the old girl. Onwards and upwards. What do you say?
Forward with a song.
Fantastic news. I don't doubt yours and Chateau de Gilen's future is going to be a rosy one.
I'm hungry. Let's go and have some food. Come on, Lulu. Off you go, Michael.
Next time, we meet a whole new raft of Brits with a whole new set of chateau problems. When two new parents face a mammoth task trying to get their chateau ready for a holiday season,
I don't know if we can get everything done in time.
they call in support.
I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't realise I was going to be moving paving slab all day.
Or at least they thought they had.
You don't actually know if he's ever really done a full day's work in his life before.
One chateau couple gambles everything on a new menu for their guests.
It's not going fantastically well.
Things start to get heated.
Yeah, it's really quite hot.
And when I get a call to help one woman search for some buried chateau booty,
Dick, come and find the treasure for me.
we find ourselves a bit tangled up. You want to go further in?
This way. I'm in the trees.
Hold on.